On today's show, we're going to look at some NFL executives that have weighed in on the big Browns blockbuster trade this offseason. You're watching the Browns Report presented by Prize Picks, and I am your host, Joey O'Donohue. And the first thing I want to do on today's show, if you're feeling good, if you're feeling optimistic about the Browns' future with all that young talent in Cleveland right now, go ahead and like the video right now. Tap that like button. Let's try to get to at least 500 likes because I know we got 500 Dog Pound faithful members out there that want to see the Browns do well and are excited about the future. We need more positive Cleveland media going around. So, like the video, good things happen when you do good in the world. So the first thing we're going to look at from NFL executives, according to ESPN, not many are knocking the trade for Myles Garrett and Jared Verse, largely because of where both teams are in their roster building process. So a lot of executives, that make these decisions every single day, every single offseason for years have looked at this trade that the Browns made and they said, you know what? It's actually a good deal and it makes sense for both sides. A little bit more on this from an NFL insider, Jeremy Fowler. Many executives feel that if the Browns were compelled to trade a player of Garrett's caliber, Cleveland probably got out at the right time. Cleveland received what it equates to about 3 first-round picks in overall value. Star pass rusher Jared Verse, who was a former first-round pick and the Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2024. Also a 2027 first, a 2028 second, and a 2029 third-rounder courtesy of the LA Rams. I'll tell you one thing. I love getting a player back in the deal. Everybody could go out and say trading Myles for 3 first straight up would have been better value. Not to me. Those are 3 players that are playing college football right now and are unproven in the National Football League. I like the idea of getting back a young player who, by the way, has made the Pro Bowl in both of his seasons in the NFL. That was smart by Andrew Berry. And to the point about the timeline for the Cleveland Browns, this was the time to do it. Garrett's value is at an all-time high. Even though he's 30 years old, this was the move, the time to get it done. Let's look a little bit at Jared Verse's career as well so far. Some numbers I think will get you fired up when you talk about who the Browns are getting back. Well, his rookie year was fantastic. Had a 17.2% pressure rate. That's second highest rate by any rookie, trailing only Micah Parsons in 2021. 89 total pressures, okay? That's second most by a rookie, including the postseason, since Khalil Mack did it his year in 2014. Like I said, was a Pro Bowler in both his rookie year and his second year in the NFL. The Defensive Rookie of the Year, only thing you can point to is, well, he only had 4.5 sacks. But when you fast forward to 2025, he got that number up to 7.5 sacks, played all 17 games, 80 pressures, by the way, and 3 forced fumbles. The dude is a stud, a beast, and he is only ascending in this league. Also, the scheme he's running out there in LA, lining up as an outside linebacker, he'll be in more of an opportunity to get more sacks in Cleveland in the 4-3. He's also got the right attitude. He's coming from winning culture. He's coming from guys that have played in the Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl, Coach Sean McVay. A lot of positives over there in the system that Verse is coming from, and I think he can bring that winning attitude to Cleveland. In fact, listen to what Jared Verse had to say about Myles Garrett and himself and his own career path going forward. He said, Myles is a great player. I watch his film every day. I'm not here to fill his shoes. That's not my job. My job is to be the best me. If I'm the best me, I'm not going to be Myles Garrett. I'm not going to be Maxx Crosby. I'm going to be the best Jared, and that's going to be the best player in the league. That's got to fire you up, Browns fans. Come on. Tell it to us, Jared. That's what you want to hear. He's a guy coming from playoff runs. He believes in himself. He has the ability. To me, I'm fired up to have him in Cleveland. So how would you grade the Browns trade overall now? Had a lot of time to think about it. On the grading scale of A, B, C, D, or F, comment the letter grade down below that you would give the Browns for making this trade this offseason. Coming up, we got some more from NFL executives on this trade from the Browns side of things, and Jared Verse, and a little bit of Browns news to finish off the day. Before we dive into all of that, I want to give a special shout out to our good friends over at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go if you love daily fantasy sports. Player Picks on fire right now. And there's no better place to cash in while watching sports than with Prize Picks. Guys, the app is so easy to use. It's a lot of fun. I play every day. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stats and lock in your lineup. And with the social feeds feature, you can follow your friends, share lineups with each other, explore your favorite celebrity lineups, just copy lineups in a single click. You can also find my lineups right there on the app. My username is JoeyOD1, and I got this $5 lineup with a payout of $15 for the upcoming season. I'm going to go more on Kyler Murray's game started. I think he clearly wins that battle in Minnesota. And I'm going to pick the more on Shedeur Sanders' game started, more than 6.5. He did that last year, and now he's really in contention to start. So that's my lineup. You can make the same one. And new user offer, if you download the PrizePicks app today and use code HMA, well, you'll get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. The link is in the comment section and description of today's video. That is code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Now let's look at what an NFC scout had to say weighing in on this trade for the Cleveland Browns side of things. The NFC scout said the Browns understood that even though the roster has pieces, it's not a finished product and is still without a long-term solution at quarterback. It was a good understanding of where they sit. And the points being made there include that the Browns aren't contending next year. Maybe I'm a little more optimistic than some, but I thought with Myles Garrett, we'd have a chance to contend in the AFC North. I guess we're a year or two away from that, and that makes sense. Browns need the most important position in football, quarterback. Okay, they don't have a solid answer for that going forward. I would love to believe that it is Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur has done enough to earn a shot next season and try to show he can be the guy now that there's a better system out there. Okay, that's what I'm rooting for. But you can't go ahead and chalk it up to him right now, the rookie fifth rounder. So notice I didn't even mention Watson. I'm done with him. And so you need to figure out that answer. And then Myles just doesn't fit their timeline from that sense. Myles he's got to win right now, okay? He's done waiting around. He's putting up generational seasons and 5 wins last year for us. So they're probably a year or two apart. This was the time to make the move. I could see that perspective. What's interesting, though, the executives seem to like the trade for both teams. And that's something that's rare, a rare win-win trade in the NFL. You don't see that in a lot of sports, okay? It fits both the Rams timeline and the Browns timeline, as the Rams are really all in, one player away. They're my pick to win the Super Bowl if they stay healthy right now. And so you don't see it a lot where both sides can actually benefit from the big trade like this, but executives believe that to be the case. We'll go back to the Browns side of things and talk more about Jared Verse and what he has accomplished so far. I mean, last year, he was top 6 in all of these metrics. In stops, he had 35 of them. That was 6th. 52 hurries, top 6. 20 hits. That was 2nd amongst edge rushers. Total pressures, he had 80, which was actually only a few behind Myles Garrett, who was 4th. He was 6th. Run stop win rate, ranked 2nd in the National Football League. He's a dog who's versatile and can do it all. And one thing that I think could benefit, and Jared Verse said this, is he could excel in this system. Verse said, this is an attacking front, and that's kind of my style. I'll be attacking. I want to get to it. I want to have a defined situation, just be able to do my thing every time without having to think too much, without having to slow down and read keys. And it's exactly that. I like it a lot. Andrew Berry said it is a perfect DNA match as well. Jared Verse, the attitude, mentality that he brings, and it seems like he will fit this system a lot, like really well. When you talk about the different schemes that he has gone in, played in before, and where he'll be now, I think it's important to note that he was an outside linebacker with the Rams in a 3-4 scheme, okay? Kind of lining up in a 2-point stance a lot without his hands on the ground. Now he'll be in the 4-3, okay, chasing after quarterbacks in a 3- and 4-point stance. And he said he really likes that. Just play attack mode. Just get to the quarterback. I think you'll see more sacks. I'm going to predict double-digit sacks for Jared Verse. That's right. Give me at least 10, and he will find success in this system that worked really well last year in Cleveland for getting to the quarterback and getting pressure. Also, former NFL offensive tackle Teron Armstead said Jared Verse is special. I love Jared Verse. I love it for Cleveland. Quote, they did not lose this trade. And I like to hear a lot of experts going out and saying this. Obviously, we'll have to hit the field. Remains to be seen. But I'm optimistic about it, and I like the deal for Cleveland. I have an interesting question for you, Browns fans, though. All my ball knowers watching the channel, because I know we got a lot of people that know ball watching this Browns report right now. Do you think Jared Verse is the best defensive player in the AFC North right now? Without Trey Hendrickson being in there, without Myles Garrett being in there, is Verse the best player on defense? Let me know down below. Type Y for yes if you think so. Type N for no if you're not there quite yet. But let me know in the comment section your thoughts on this opinionated question. Last thing I'm going to talk about is other Browns offseason moves because, like I said, they're making all the right moves this offseason, and I am optimistic about where we are headed here in Cleveland and for their future. But I do want to let you guys know, too, that today's show is made possible by SeatGeek. When it's time to get out of the house, there's not many better options right now than a sporting event. Use code CHAT10, get 10% off your next set of tickets. MLB is in full swing, NFL schedule is out, and you can now get World Cup tickets on SeatGeek. This could be a once-in-a-lifetime experience to go to a World Cup game while it's in America. For me, I'm looking at those Browns home games, though. They've got 8 this year. I want to watch the new offense take the field. I want to watch Shador play. Judkins come back healthy. The rookie wide receivers. SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. So look for the green dots. Green means good. Red means bad. And, of course, I have a code for you guys. You can use code CHAT10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That is 10% off any tickets with promo code CHAT10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek. So what the Browns did this offseason is they attacked their needs. They really did. When you look at all their moves as a whole, how they approached the draft, I mean, they went into this thing and hammered what they needed to, and that's what I like about Monken and even credit to Barry this offseason. The Browns NFL draft, 5 of their first 6 selections were wide receiver or offensive line. Let that sink in. That's drafting for need right there. 8 of the 10 draft picks they made were on offense. They knew what they needed to do, and they went all in on it. Passed on BPA several times, too. You know, Caleb Downs was there when you took Spencer Fauno. Downs might be the best player in the draft, but you drafted what you needed most. That shows me they're close. They're just getting ready with the pieces that they still needed. And so you look at everything they've done collectively. Some notable moves to me in the offseason include drafting those 2 rookie wide receivers that will start and see time in Cleveland already. That includes signing Elton Jenkins and Zion Johnson, who will start and play on this offensive line. Like, they're getting a whole new group of what they needed to. Spencer Fauno's going to be the starting left tackle, too. You traded for Titus Howard, gave him an extension, so he's in Cleveland for a couple years. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren was just one where it's like, he's too good to pass up. How is he still falling in the second round? And then I like Quincy Williams a lot. Brings speed, brings energy. You know, sucked to lose Devin Bush, but we replaced him right away. And that's why I say the Browns really did what they needed to do, and I'm excited about it. And when you look at where they ranked in 2025, according to PFF in these 2 categories, the Browns' offensive line was ranked 31st out of the 32 teams in the league. And then the wide receiver room's dead last. They had to do something, and they went overboard and drafted everything that they needed in those areas of need. So that's why I'm fired up. I like the players a lot, too. Last thing for today's show is a little piece of news that maybe we could put a positive spin on for the Browns. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka is retiring from the NFL. If you guys remember, the real ones know that on trade deadline day this year, the Browns traded Joe Tryon-Shoyinka to the Bears, late-round pick swap. Cleveland got a 6th-rounder back in it, and now he's retired. So we kind of fleeced the Bears. Okay, another genius move by Andrew Berry. Thought we'd end the show with that one as he is stepping away, and we got a draft pick for it. So why not? But that will do it, everybody, for today's show. I am Joey O, not Trace Mustakis, but you can give me a follow on Twitter at JoeyO70. Also, make sure you hit that sub button here for daily Browns videos for free coming your way, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time here on the Browns Report.